So I'm Jean Camo, Executive Director of LOWLINC, and I'm really happy to be here with you today, and we're super excited about our presenter. I just kind of wanted to welcome all of you and just find out, who's in the room with us today. So those of you who are LOWLINC members and volunteers, all right. And how many of you are guests today? Oh, okay, fabulous. We're so glad you joined us. So LOWLINC, as you may know, we do these monthly speaker series, and we're fortunate to have the Health and Wellness Committee, and I'm pointing to the Health and Wellness Committee chair over there, and the committee members, yes, are primarily behind organizing these presentations, so we really appreciate all their efforts. We're really excited about the events that we have going for the rest of the year, and then also some of the things that are coming up next year in early 2025. So you'll be hearing some more details, but we've been talking with Encore Creativity, which is a group that helps organize singing groups in communities, and we've heard a lot of you talk about wanting to do that, and this group will be open to the community, so LOWLINC members and volunteers definitely, and everybody else in the community who loves to sing. No auditions, but anybody 55 and older is welcome to join. So we'll be doing a meet and greet to kind of get our, it'll be a meet and greet rehearsal just to kind of see what it's all about. And then if everybody's enthusiastic about it, we'll have a 6-week program, again, just to kind of as a starter program. So that's something that you can look for in the new year. I hope that all of you LOWLINC people will see us at the holiday party coming up in December, and the many other activities that we have happening. So at this time, I am going to introduce Margaret. Margaret Driscoll, like I said, is the Health and Wellness Committee Chair, and she keeps things hopping. She does a lot. But she's going to say a few words and introduce our speaker today. So thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to use my outside voice too. From what I've heard, it's pretty good. Thank you for joining us. We're really excited about our speaker today, and I'm going to talk about Emily a little bit in just a moment. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about our December 5th speaker series, because we're going to have another home-bred presentation that from the Health and Wellness Committee, yay committee. It is an incredibly talented and dedicated committee, and they generally will follow me wherever I ask them to go, and I really appreciate it. On that day, we're going to do two things. Trish Burks is going to present to you a very creative way to start thinking about your intentions for the coming year, and also, past that point. And what she's going to do is show you how to make a vision board. And she was kind enough to bring in a couple of examples of them. And we're going to get together on that day and talk about them. And then on January 16th, we're going to have a workshop from 2 to 3:30, thank you. And you can come back and join us and start working on your own. And we will have some supplies for you to get started. And then you can take it home and go from there with them. So we're pretty excited about that.
And they're very powerful, and be careful what you ask for, because I wanted a house on the water in my one before that, and my basement flooded. Be very careful and specific about what you're asking.
It's kind of like letting the genie out of the bottle. And then we're going
They're fun.
Yeah. We're going to follow that with a holiday sing-along that is going to be led by Elizabeth Wiley and her friends Dan and Maria Rapier, and the guitarist is going to be Martin Polk. We're kind of making up how to say his last name, so we hope we're close. And that's just going to be fun. You're going to bring your voices and sing loud. When Jean was talking about the encore performances, I was thinking of, there's this Irish song that's called all God's creatures have a place in the choir, and the chorus is some sing high and some sing lower. Some clap their paws, their hands, their fins, or anything they got. So that's about what we're looking for. Is just come and have fun with us for that. Okay, and I think that that was all I had to say, okay, about the December one. So we look forward to seeing you for that one. We've had a really wonderful speaker series presentation this year. We've had good turnouts. We've had great recommendations, okay, from you folks for the following year. So we're really looking forward to carrying it forward into 2025. We are going to talk today about, actually Emily's going to talk today, and we will ask her questions about aging in place. This is one of the fundamental missions of LOWLINC, okay, is to enable our members to remain living in their homes as long as it is possible for them to do so. So the presentation today is very near and dear to our hearts. Emily has a degree in psychology and has spent the past 25 years or more working on with senior living. Okay, I don't think there's anything she doesn't know about the different choices that you have, and there are so many of them, and there are so many questions you have to ask yourself, you know, and to find the best fit for you. So she is going to go over, okay, that information. She has actually written 2 books. Okay, the first one was called Care Enough to Know. And then the second one, which is the one that we're really focusing on today, is called Don't Take My Independence Away. Okay, and in addition to that, okay, we will all eventually reach a point in our lives where we do have to make that decision to leave our homes, and she will also touch base on some of those options. So, with nothing more to say, Emily, we welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. And I'm going to share a little bit of wisdom with you, but as I look across this room, I see a lot of wisdom. I see a lot of knowledge and a lot of grace. So thank you for having me. I'm going to share with you, and then maybe you'll share with me too. So like Margaret was saying, I spent 25 years in the senior living industry helping, can you hear me? Okay. Helping people decide what to do with their later life living. And most of my career was spent helping people move into communities. I found that over the years that no matter what they did, if they stayed in their own home or they moved into a community, independence was really important. So that's why we're all here today, right? Because we want to hang on to our independence. You know the story about the tortoise and the hare. Okay, the tortoise and the hare had a goal. Guess what? The hare goofed off, took a side road, took a nap, fooled around. The hare was focused. I mean, the tortoise was focused and had a goal, and he kept going slow and steady toward the goal. So that's what we're talking about today, going slow and steady towards our goal so we can end up where we want to end up. That's the tortoise. So tune into your inner tortoise, please. So I'm going to be sharing the things that are here today. Is aging in place right for me? Can you stay in your home? What steps can you take to ensure a high quality of life as you age in your home? How to talk to your family about aging in place. Maybe that's a touchy subject. I'll just say right now that by gaining knowledge and knowing what you want to do and knowing what the options are, that's the best thing to go to your family with. Then they'll trust you. They'll know you know what you want. So learning is the best thing to do. My catchphrase has always been, care enough to know. If you care enough to know, you'll know enough to care. So that's why you're here today, okay? You're learning. So I'm also going to talk about what services are available to us as we age in place. And we know LOWLINC is a huge service, provides all kinds of things. And I like to say that it goes in 3 steps. We get ready, we get set, and then we don't go. We stay put. Maybe, okay? That's what we're going to talk about today. Setting a goal is not the main thing. It is deciding how you will go about achieving it and staying with that plan. That was a quote by Tom Landry. Home, comfort, familiarity, and security, nothing compares with kicking off your shoes, walking into your own living room, going into the kitchen, getting a snack. It's your personal refuge, right? Your home is your personal refuge. It's where you're comfortable. It's where you can do nothing or you can do something. You are your own boss. No one else is determining when you eat, when you don't eat, whatever. Mostly, we all need that centering place, okay? We need to have that place where we can go and just feel relaxed, totally relaxed. And that's what aging in place is all about. First, we're going to talk about getting ready. How do we get ready? First, you talk about the elephant. Do you all have an elephant in your room? Okay. So the elephant in the room that I'm talking about is, what are you going to do when you get older and you have to live somewhere? What are you going to do about it? So you need to have a talk with yourself or a talk with your family or someone you trust, someone who will be honest with you. A viewpoint other than your own is very valuable, right? Most of the time. The main issue, of course, is whether or not you will be safe in your environment. That's the main issue. For instance, if you've been taking some falls or forgetting to take your medicine, are things piling up around your house or in your yard, like leaves right now? No. My husband doesn't let leaves pile up, but are you lonely or depressed? These are all things you might have one or two of or not. Is preparing a meal too much effort for you? Yes? Is your pet being properly cared for? How is your outside yard and all of your surroundings? Next, you talk to yourself a little bit. You want to do an assessment. So you want to know if your place is safe, secure. You want to think about your medical issues. And you want to talk about how much can you afford. All right? So remember, it's never too soon to start, but it might be too late to begin. So we're all starting, or somewhere in the process. 3 areas of concern: safety, medical, and funds. Let's talk about safety a little bit. Bless you. Where will you be safest? Is it possible that your home can be made senior safe? I think you recently had a speaker, you had some construction people or contractors who can make your home senior safe, so that's something to keep in mind. Do you have stairs? Is your home overcrowded with extra furnishings, making it easy to trip or fall? Is your current home in a neighborhood or an isolated area? Fortunately, here in Lake of the Woods, we're not isolated, are we? Who will look in on you if you stay in your own home? There are certain programs like LOWLINC, and you know of all the different aspects, and they can talk more about it than I can, but you know of the wonderful aspects of LOWLINC and how they can help you if you are alone. There's also another program in some cities called RUOK, and it's they call you once a day to see how you're doing. There are also many medical alert companies. You probably all know about those. I won't advertise for them, but there are quite a few. Medical records. Okay, all of your medical records, all of your medical information, your doctor, everything to do with medical should be kept in somewhere where it's easily accessible, where someone can come in, look at it, and know what to do. Hello? And they know what to do and where to take you if you need to go somewhere. Also, what arrangements have been made for getting to and from medical appointments? And I think LOWLINC provides something like that too. Are there medical specialists readily available in your area? Some areas, some of the doctors don't accept Medicare, so that's something to check into also. When you go to the doctor, do you have access to someone who can take the notes for you? You know how they talk a lot and they give you a lot of information and it's very confusing? So it's helpful if you can have someone come with you to second set of ears, and also they can write notes down too. Okay? All right, any questions about medical? Oh, one other thing, long-term care policies. Some of you probably have long-term care policies and some of you don't. If you do, you want to make sure that you know what is covered. Say, you know, maybe if you needed someone to come in and help you on a daily basis or whatever, find out now, ahead of time, what is covered and what won't be covered. Let's talk about funds. It's expensive to live, right? It costs a lot of money. So it's good to do a chart and put your outgo and your income and figure out what's happening and how that will change maybe over the years as you age. One of the things you can do to help is get rid of some of your things, and maybe even you can make some money off of some of your things if you can part with them. You can have someone help you determine which assets can be converted to cash. And I know a lot of us have antiques and things, but a lot of people don't want antiques anymore. So you have to have an expert tell you who will buy what. Downsizing is a good idea. It's hard because we all have things that we don't want to part with, right? Do you pay for unnecessary subscriptions, like things you see on TV or whatever, magazine things? Anyway, that's another way you can watch it. Abraham Lincoln once said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would take 6 sharpening my axe. Okay, so that's what you're doing today. You're sharpening your axe, as long as getting in touch with your inner tortoise. Okay. So being prepared ahead of time is the key to success. No one wants to end up like a deer in the headlights, right? Okay, so what do I do? So be honest and open with yourself and make a plan. As you continue to work your plan, here are some other ideas that will help you do that. Does anyone in here have a paper trail? Okay, a paper trail.
Where you go then?
Yeah.
That leads back to like your important documents. Or,
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so a good way to do it is have a binder and it has everything about you in it. Everything about all about your medical, everything. About your family, about your kids' names, about where they live, your pets' names, the veterinarian, you know, everything. So you have a paper trail. That way someone can come in, if you are not able to take care of yourself, they can come in and look at your binder or whatever, or at your paper trail, and they can figure it out. We should all have burial plans. Something we don't like to talk about that much, but we should all have burial plans. Okay, so let's talk more about downsizing. Does your stuff own you? Does your stuff own you? Okay, some of my stuff owns me. Mostly they are the things that people have given me, really precious things that are precious to me. It's really hard. Maybe that's your case too. So, tried and true method of downsizing. Really works. Start early. Start early. I mean, just do a little bit, you know, now. Eliminate by room. So do it room by room. Be miserly. Okay? Just Don't give in to yourself. Organize backward. So think of how you would like that space to look, and then take the rest of the stuff away. Maybe. There are no maybes though. You can't have a maybe, you can only have wants and needs. All right? Usually the wants side is much longer than the needs side. You have to figure it out. But just start small. All right? Another way to skim down and get ready to be more independent and get stuff out of your way is have an estate sale. And maybe some of you have had an estate sale. You have to be careful who you hire to do this. Some people will charge you too much, so you have to really look into it. Get a reference from someone who's done it, or someone you trust. Okay? Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to go through the book a little bit so you'll know what's in it. And so now we're going to talk about staying put. We're talking about getting ready, getting set. Now we're going to talk about staying put. So are you going to stay put where you are, or are you going to stay put somewhere else? There are various housing options for people as they age. We all would like to stay in our own home, probably. If you're able and want to stay in your own home, I'm going to talk to you about some things that you really need to consider. First of all, let's talk about the bathroom. Do you have grab bars in your shower or near your commode? Do you have a walk-in shower or a tub shower? Non-slip surfaces in the tub? Do you have a phone in your bathroom? Of course you do, because we all have cell phones, right? So we all do. Night light in your bathroom? A high boy toilet, you know, the ones that are up higher. Okay. Is your hot water temperature set to the right temperature? Not freezing cold and not scalding. Have someone check that. It's good to have a motion detector light in your bathroom, so when you go in there in a hurry at night, the light goes on. That'd be nice to have. Okay, any questions about the bathroom? Bedroom. Sturdy bedside table, because we always put a lot of stuff on it, right? And you need a lamp that's easy to turn off and on. Any suggestions on that one? Do they still have this one?
You did it with your finger. Yeah, touch ones.
You want to clear the path between your bed and your bed and your bathroom for the times when you run. You need rugs with non-slipping backing or none or no rugs. Your choice. Okay? And you also need a comfortable chair in your bedroom to sit on for dressing and putting your shoes on. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Let's talk about the kitchen. And some of these things you don't have and you may not get to have, but they are possible, and there are people who can help you make these arrangements. A dishwasher at waist height. Okay? Frequently used items should be within reach without a stool or a step ladder. Ladders are bad. My husband knows, he fell. You should have a fire extinguisher within reach. The little ones that, you can get those at Walmart, somewhere like that. Your work area where you're preparing your food should be a place where you can sit. It's tiring sometimes. Your drawers and cabinets should have D-shaped handles, the ones that look like a D, so you can just hold them out like that. The countertops should be at a convenient height. And your appliances should have side-by-side doors, so it's easier to get into the freezer. And again, some of the builders can help you with some of these things. Other thoughts about overall amenities in your home. A security system is good to have, okay? Handrails securely fastened, like outside or inside, wherever. All of your areas should be well lit. Rocker light switches to turn off lights from different locations. The ones that go like this. Your electrical outlets, and this is tricky, should be like up here, but I know you have to find someone to do that for you, but that's ideal. That's what we say. And emergency buttons or lifeline, you know, we talked about that. So one of the things about, I was going to talk a little bit about security here in Lake of the Woods. It's so nice because we do have security. No matter what happens, okay, you can call security. We had a neighbor, and she had a huge dog. I mean, it was huge, like almost like a horse. And she came over to our house one day and she said her dog wouldn't move. Her dog was moving on the floor and would not move. And she wanted my husband to come and lift it up and take it to the vet or, you know, wherever. And he said, well, I don't think I can lift your dog, but why don't you call security? So they called security, and out they came. And they took the dog to the vet. So, you know, they did that. And then there's one other kind of funny one with security. My husband and I had come home from church one Sunday, and I was dressed with a dress and high heels, and we had locked ourselves out of the house. So we have this window on the side of the house, and it's like up high, but part of it was down. So there was a, you know, you could get there. If you could get up there, you could push it down and get in. So he said, okay, we're going to get the ladder, and I want you to climb up, and then pull that down and go through. And I said, no. He said, yes. I said, no. Then a light went on. Call security. So I called security, and they came out and they got us in our house.
Did they go through the window?
No. They had a special way they did it with the door. Anyway, I appreciate the security in Lake of the Woods. A couple of other things about your arrangement in your home. Your cupboards and under cabinets should have sliding drawers if possible. It's much easier to get things out if you can pull it out like that. And parking in the garage, sometimes that can be an issue. You know, like you go in too far and bump into something or whatever. So a good thing to do is hang a tennis ball from the ceiling. Have someone hang a tennis ball from the ceiling and let it hang down to the point where you should stop, okay? So then if you hang it down and you pull in and go, boop, it hits your windshield, you know you've gone too far. That's one way to solve that problem. If you have a dog or cat, you need to have a doggy door to let them in and out. No throw rugs. Rethink your flooring. If you have carpets, maybe you should have hardwood if possible. And it's easier to keep clean and you won't trip and fall. And your doorways should be at least 36 inches wide. Why would that be?
Wheelchairs.
Wheelchairs, correct. All right. All right. So that's, you know, talking about your home. There are other ways to age at home, but not in your home, okay? You can, one idea is moving with family. Some people don't want to do that, but it's an option. And then, you know, you can have your privacy and they can have theirs. You can have some common areas and have your own private bedroom, bathroom. Or maybe you can rent from a family member. There was a family in McMinnville, Oregon, and they had lived in their home forever. And they, you know, they loved it. They didn't want to give it up. And
Sorry for the distraction.
oh, okay, we're getting all right. Should I stop?
This is kind of like a short commercial break.
Any questions in the commercial break?
I'm sorry.
We don't need it. We don't need it. Going back to security.
Yes.
I had two incidents. One, I locked myself out, and I called them from a neighbor. I didn't even have my phone. Called them from a neighbor and said, do you break into houses? And they said, yes. And it was like 2 seconds they were in it.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Then the other thing is my smoke alarm started chirping.
Oh, I hate that.
Yes, so I don't know what made me think of it, but I called the fire, the ambulance,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
fire chief.
Yes.
And he said, call, he said, call 911. And I said, oh, it's not an emergency. You know, he said, they don't care. So I called 911 and I said, you know, a very tall fireman came out. And he provided me a battery even. And
Really?
put it in. Yeah, so.
Is this working now?
It is.
Okay. Great, well, thank you for sharing that. So there was this couple in
Just one
Midville,
other-
oh, yes.
This isn't a question, it's a suggestion. I was having a hard time getting the key out of my door when I was trying to get it out of the lock, and I got all the keypads. They're so wonderful because you can give that number to the, TRICARE, and they will not knock down your door if they need to get in. And if there's somebody, I have cleaners that I don't care if they come when I'm not there, and they have the code, and it works really slick.
So did you all hear that?
No.
Okay, she said keypad, have a keypad instead of a lock. That way you can have the code and just get in, you don't have to worry about your keys, and you can give the code to someone else. Okay? All right, back to McMinnville. Okay, there was a couple, and they'd lived on their own for, they didn't want to give up their home. But their son bought a house, a really nice house in a nice neighborhood, and they moved into it, and they rented from him for a very minimal amount. And while they were renting from him, he took the money from the rent and he put it in an account for them for when they got older and had to go, have extra care. So it was a win-win for both of them. It was an investment for him and nice for them. That's another option. We don't all have that, but also house sharing. So you might know someone that you can share a house with, a friend, or someone that you have something in common with. That's another way to do it. College or nursing students, that would be a way. You could help someone and they could help you. That's a possibility. Again, be careful who you invite to live in your home. Have other people check it out with you, okay? Remaining independent on a limited budget. Okay, so there are organizations, you probably all know about them. There's HUD for subsidized housing, and you can look, the American Association of Homes and Services for the Aging, and it's all in the book. I'm not pushing my book, but all this stuff's in the book. And so those are organizations that can help you with housing ideas as you age. Also for food, if you want to cut corners on food, there's Meals on Wheels, and there are food pantries and different things like that if you need to do that. I don't know much about any of those, but I've heard that it works for some people. And there's a food bank locator on us.gov, and it tells you the food banks in your area. Other services, LOWLINC is a huge service, okay? And most of you all know that they do all kinds of things, and it's a wonderful organization. There's an organization called V2V Network. It's village to village, and they don't have one in this state. I know they don't. I haven't heard that they do, but it's people who live in the same area and they decide to share cooking and taking care, cleaning, and it's couples and singles and whatever, and they decide to share activities that we get tired of doing, activities of daily living. So that's another option. Okay, what's the one big thing that most of us don't want to give up? Driving. Okay. Yep, that's a hard one. One community I worked in California, the man's license was taken away from him because he was not able to drive, and he would sneak out into the parking lot after hours and drive up and down in the parking lot. So, anyway, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like the little boy who was standing up in his high chair, and his mom said, "Johnny, sit down." Johnny didn't sit down. She said it again, Johnny, sit down. So finally, Johnny sat down, but he was standing up inside. Let's see, what else can we talk about today? Okay, so some of the things, if some of these issues are yours, then you should probably think about maybe not driving, okay? I'm going to read some of these to you. Ability to see clearly after dusk or dark. Difficulty in reading road signs. Difficulty hearing. Tendency to get lost. Fear of traveling side by side with large vehicles, slow trucks and things. Have difficulty parking. Difficulty turning your head due to arthritis or other condition. Okay, so we're all in it together. We're all aging. And so at some point we will have to give up our driver's license. But it's not the end of the world. You know, there are other options. There are LOWLINC will drive you. There are other Uber, you know, there are a lot of different options available to people. So you're not stuck if you have to give up your license. But it's something to think about. And now I want to talk to caregivers for a minute. So some of you might be caregivers. Caregivers have it harder than the person they're caring for, because it's emotionally wearing and tearing and just wears you out. So if you are a caregiver, take time to be by yourself, to take a day off if you can, go somewhere where it's just comfortable and you do something for yourself, but take care of yourself, caregivers. Let's talk about staying vital. So we all want to stay as vital as possible, right? As we age, right? Yeah, okay. So it's just like maintaining a vehicle. If you don't take care of your car, it starts to sputter and, you know, doesn't work the way it should. That's what happens to our bodies, of course. A good place to start is by taking an inventory of yourself. How are your hypothetical tires? Do they need to be replaced? Okay. So consider the following areas of your life. Consider your diet. What's your diet like? Are you taking care to give your body the best fuel, like we do in the car? High-grade fuel? Are you eating junk food? So our bodies are 60% water, right? Okay, so you need to drink a lot of water. A lot. Even when you don't feel like it. Even on days when it rains. My husband always reminds me. So stay hydrated. Don't put cheap gas in your car. Don't put cheap gas in your body. Just take care of your body. Eat foods that are good for you, that make you feel good. Chocolate. Exercise, okay. So exercise is good, right? We should all exercise some. And even if you can't run, walk, or do aerobics, or Zumba, or anything, if you can't do any of that, you can do chair exercises. They're even helpful. And it makes you feel better. You know, it just, when you move, movement is not overrated, okay? It's good for your body. It just makes you feel so much better. Attitude. I've heard it said that your attitude determines your altitude. So if you're kind of negative, then you're down in the dumps, right? There's a book I read a long time ago by Florence Langdorf, and she talked about your balcony person and your basement person. Your balcony person is someone who lifts you up, okay? They're fun to be around. They make you like yourself, you know? The basement person is always complaining and negative and pulls you down. So spend as much time as you can with your balcony people. Unless, of course, you're married to a basement person. No. No. But you get it. You get it. So one of the important things to remember is as we age, it's easy to just kind of close into yourself. And it's called Me, Myself, and I. And there's a lot more to the world than me, myself, and I. You know, reaching out is really good. Reaching out makes you feel good. So there are many ways that we can reach out. We all have a gift. Each one of us has a gift. And we can use those. So what you need to do is ponder your likes and dislikes. What do you like to do? What are you good at? What are you not so good at? Don't do that. Are you a people person? Or are you a leader or a follower? How much time do you have to give away? Okay. Do you like to teach? Which age group do you feel most comfortable with? Do you like behind the scenes volunteer activities? Or do you like to be out in front? Everyone's different. How can you use, okay, remember what I said, I see a lot of wisdom and knowledge in this room. There's a lot. So how can you use it to benefit others? There's a way, okay? Other things you can do to stimulate yourself and keep going. Try a new class, volunteer for LOWLINC, volunteer at the library, give a caregiver a day out or a few hours away. Just call someone you were thinking of, write a note to a friend. These are easy things, right? Smile at someone. It goes a long ways. Say hello to someone. Compliment someone. Tell them they have a nice hairdo or pretty blouse. Offer to cook a meal for someone. You can look for needs in your neighborhood. You can write a book. You can try a new hobby. It's never too late to try a new hobby. And even if you flop, it doesn't matter. Learn to do something you thought you couldn't do. And these, again, are all in the book, so I know you're not going to remember all these. Join a gardening group. I know a lot of you like to garden, and you want to just keep doing that. And there are groups of people who like to do that too. Join a book discussion group. Spend a half an hour just listening to someone else's problems. I know, it's hard to listen to other people's problems. You want to share your own problem. And so sometimes we can't wait till they shut up. And so we can say, but you know, it's nice to listen to people. It's appreciated, it really is. You can give, if you have too much stuff like we talked about before, you can give some of it away. Give it to someone who needs it. You could throw a just because party, just because you want to have somebody over, just for fun. Be silly. You can organize a neighborhood Bible study or a prayer group, or you could start a walking group, okay? So the important part is interact with other people on a regular basis. And don't let it be conditional, be unconditional. You don't expect anything back, just, you know, do it because you want to do it. So, we've gotten ready, we've gotten set, and now I'm going to stay put, either in your home or someone else's or whatever. So I think that's about all I'm going to talk about the book. I wanted to tell you that in the book there's a scale, and it helps you to determine your level of care. It's the one that's used by the medical agencies, and it tells you what level of care that would be best for you. If you're thinking of moving to any type of retirement community, whether it be independent, assisted, skilled, you know, anything like that, it's helpful. And there's a whole chapter in the book on all the different types of retirement communities and what they're like and what it's about, okay? Retirement communities are never like your home. Let me just be honest with you. But sometimes they're a good thing because they meet a lot of needs, more than you can take care of at home. Okay? Any questions?
You answered everybody's questions.
Oh
Now
my
they
gosh.
know.
Well, there is a handout over there for everyone to have. It's on downsizing, and then the books are usually $12 on Amazon, but they're $10 for anyone who came today. That's it.
Jean has a couple more things to talk to you about here.
Great that we have the door open. It looks like we've invited a couple of flying friends in. Check this out. I'm a walker and talker. So thank you so much, Emily. That was so fabulous. I know, we often talk about getting, our plan B when plan A is, wonderful when things go smoothly, but we want to be thinking about how we can be more prepared. And so Emily's, words of wisdom were really helpful and really do tie in, as she said, to some of the things that LOWLINC does. So I just kind of wanted to share for our guests, but also remind some of our members and volunteers some of the things related to what Emily was talking about. And I took some notes, so bear with me. So yes, as Emily mentioned, we do provide transportation. So that's, of course, to medical appointments, but also other appointments, hair appointments. So when you get to that point, and I remember my father wanted to stay independent, and he did, and one day he came home and said, I'm selling my car. I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? And he had sold it within like 24 hours. Or actually, you know what, I take that back, he donated it. And so, all of us don't want to give that up, but we also don't want to wait too long. And here at the lake, we are lucky because we do have so many wonderful volunteers who are available to help us get where we want and need to go. Also with, Emily mentioned, how it is you go to the doctor and they say all kinds of things with big words and you get home and you think, what in the world did they tell me to do? So LOWLINC does have volunteers who are able to do medical note-taking for you. So you can go to the doctors, and if you'd like for them to come in during the portion where the doctor's talking with you, they'll be glad to do that. They don't get involved, they just write down the notes and then hand you the notes so that you have them. And we're fortunate to have Emily here who does the training. So we do, to stay vital, we have a weekly walking group led by Margaret, wherever she went, there she is. And we do all kinds of other things to stay healthy, the vaccine clinic, we have loads and loads of social activities, everything from going to the theater on the minibus to, puzzles and you name it, there's so many activities, I can't list them all. For members, we do offer a safety check, especially for people after they just join, so you can have someone come in and take a look around the home and see if there's loose railings or other safety concerns, and many times those things are taken care of during that first visit. If it's something bigger, then we might even need to come back or connect you with a contractor. Decluttering. Let me talk about ladders first. Yes, ladders. Don't do it. Just say no. But we do have people, our volunteers, who are steady on their feet and are willing to come and change that light bulb for you. So please call us if you're a LOWLINC member. Yes, decluttering, getting back to that. So I'm on a decluttering tear myself right now. And I love the idea that you can keep anything, but you can't keep everything. And think of your home as a container. Your house is a big container. Your drawer is a container. If you have a pretty basket on the counter, that's a container. How many of you have had those things where you have pens stuck in and I got 5 more pens I can get in there? So that's not really how containers are supposed to work. If it holds 20 pens without being jammed in there, then 20 pens are all you can keep. And if you kind of apply that principle around your house, just kind of take out that stuff without, pulling everything out and leaving a big mess, but just kind of start doing that. I think that's kind of what Emily was talking about. Just as you go, one day you look around and you're like, wow, this looks better. And if you can do a 5-minute pickup of your house and it's ready for company, you're at the right point. I'm not there yet. But decluttering it does really make a difference for safety and just peace of mind. And so, again, LOWLINC has really tried to support those efforts. So many of you may be aware of our clean out project. So I think it's about 5 of them, right? And so we did our linen closet clean out together, and we donated the linens to the animal shelter and Friends of Wildlife. We did electronics recycling and medical supplies, the list goes on. And we're gonna do the same thing next year. Also, if you have a car, motorcycle, how many of you have a motorcycle? No. A plane, a boat, any of those truck that you'd like to declutter and donate, LOWLINC does have an 800 number. I can give it to you now, but I don't expect you to write it down because it's on our website, but it's 855-500-7433. And when you call that number, they will know that you're calling for LOWLINC, and it's really easy. They make arrangements, they come pick it up, and after a few weeks of processing, then they send the donation to LOWLINC. So keep that in mind. And I just want to say a little bit about membership. So often people wait until they really, really need help to join LOWLINC, and don't wait that long, because there's so many benefits of LOWLINC that you can enjoy them while you can enjoy them. Because LOWLINC is able to do so much. I mean, we have such a wide array of things that we do, but we don't do personal care. And so if you wait until that point, you kind of miss the benefits of LOWLINC. Slow, steady, stay. Join earlier. We do have membership fees, so it's $400 per year for an individual, $500 per year for household, but we also we don't want that to be a barrier for anyone. So if that is a barrier, please reach out to us and ask them to speak with me. Ask, if you call the 855 number, and we can work something out. Okay, so I'm really excited about the vision board because this is such a great, what Emily has talked about is, okay, so we really want to look forward to next year and not getting water in our basement,
Yeah. But all the good things will happen too. So that was just one bad thing.
It's so true that when what you envision is what you move towards, right? It's like, any sailors in the room, like, I'm heading that way, I might have to tack to get there, but if I don't look at that point, I'm gonna end up over there because of the current or whatever. So we wanna have a vision and part of that may be, planning to age in place, but also including joys, whether it be singing or walking or, getting together with others. So that'll be a fun thing to do. All right. So I guess I just wanna, we're gonna turn it over to, where did she go? Oh, there she is. To Emily in a minute to anybody who's interested in taking a look at her books. You'll be able to do that in just a minute. But before we do that, I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions about LOWLINC, our services, or anything else while you have us in the room. All the LOWLINC people are like, yeah, we know. Okay. Well, please don't ever hesitate to come to events like this. Our monthly speakers meeting is open to the community. Like I mentioned, the singing group, and we have so many other activities that are also open. The services are for people who live within Lake of the Woods, the direct services, but our programs are generally open. So, all right, anything else? Did I forget anything else, team? All right, super. All right, well, thank you again for coming today. It's really great to see all of you, and we look forward to seeing you in December. And oh yes, I did want to mention our January speaker series because it's really important too. One of the main things you want to do to be able to stay in your home for as long as possible is avoiding falling, right? So we're going to have a fall prevention presentation, and there's a film called Saving Claire, and it's a serious subject, but it's kind of a lighthearted film, so I think it'll be, a lot of fun, and we'll have a conversation about that. So mark your calendars, January 2nd. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, and thank you again, Emily.